buy the, see, I'm mercantile too, okay, is buy this book, and buy a lot of them, okay, but anyway. So anyway, that's what happened. So we started selling the assets. And one thing we should know is, you know, AIG was originally as an Asian company, started in Shanghai. And its U.S. operations were kind of sideshows that they started to build up. So Bob, you see, it isn't deep, right? Bob said, what I'll do is I'll sell a lot of the stuff that's out in Asia, the valuable stuff, because I think there's a lot of value there. And what I'll do is I'll build up stuff in the United States. And so that's what he started doing. So first they sold a company called Alico to MetLife. I was at MetLife at the time, so we got it. But then the jewel crown was AIA. AIA was the jewel in the crown. It was a fabulous, huge company. And I spent a lot of time in Asia, too, around this time, and I still do. And I saw a lot of this stuff going on. There's an important note here, because one of the things that Bob was doing, he wanted to do this methodically, and he was also highly critical. So this isn't just a capitalist guy. He was highly critical of the investment bankers who he thought were a group of greedy, use your own expletive, okay? And he said all they wanted to do was to tear it down. It's almost the other side of Congress, right? They just want a grandstand, and these guys just want to make the money and bilk it, and he fought back on that. And he would tell them to their face. And so I really would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when he did that. But anyway, he did that. So AIA, he was able to construct a deal with Pru UK, and it was for $35 billion. Now, just to give you a backdrop to it, under the other program, when they were liquidating the company, they weren't going to get $20 billion for it. So he was looking for 35. Hey, $1 billion here, $1 billion there, pretty soon you're talking real money, right? So, I mean, that's what he saw, and he stuck to his gun. Also, when he was with Geithner, they had the group in Connecticut that built all that stuff, and they were trying to unwind $1.1 trillion of stuff. And what happened was, if they did it under the old plan, the effort was about, they would cost them $20 billion. He wound up making $4 billion for the company. So billion here, billion there, pretty soon you're talking real money. So what happened was he went back to the board, and Gallup didn't agree. He won the board, but a few people abstained or didn't vote or were against it. So Bob said, you know what, folks, if I don't get a unanimous decision here, I ain't doing it. Because what he really wanted to do was to make sure there wasn't someone saying, I told you so, So that's what he didn't need. So that was the other drain he had. So they approved it. But then what happened is the pride from Pru UK said, my board's killing me. How about 30 billion? So again, 30 billion's better than under 20. Bob said yes. Gallup queered it. Now this is the movie part. This is a movie. This really didn't happen, but it did, okay? This is Gary Cooper. High noon, okay? That's why I'm glad there's some old people here, because they know who the hell he is, okay? And John Wayne, here he is, and he sits there, and he got up and he said, well, board, you have a decision to make, because the chairman operates more like a boss than a partner. It's either me or him. What are you going to do? And he walked out. So he walked out and figured, see that? Because Bob also always said, as I'm willing to take some risk, but you always need an exit strategy. And he said, I could walk away from this thing. And anyway, I broke my hump on this thing. I own this company, but if they dump me, that's fine too. They had to get rid of Gallup. They had to do it. I mean, it's high noon. I heard that. I was shaking when I heard it. And when you read it in the book, you just got to love it. And so what happened, right? So Bob was saying all of this stuff, all this bravado, no one believed in him. Guess what happened? I have a little video that shows you what happened, and if you play it, please. you know, let's face it, Bob's a hero. And I think today, in this environment, it's nice to know that in this world of the religion of materialism, the glorification of greed, and the politics of expediency, that there remains in all of us the faint voice to follow the visionary adventure of the creative hero. And that's what he is. And I think we all need heroes, and this is a real one. And Bob is that guy. And Peter Marks called me and asked me, and he said, Joe, could you tell me what was the one thing, because you knew Bob for such a long time, what was the one thing that really made Bob different? And I had to think about it. And I finally made the connection. And I said, you know what Bob did? He took the fear away. He took the fear away. And with those people, he did it to me. I mean, I was the youngest of a widow in the Bronx. And when you're as a leader, when you have a purpose and you lead correctly and you take the fear away from your people, Nelson Mandela said the only way that people can perform beyond which they think they can is through inspiration, and that's what he was. He was inspired, but he also followed it up. And when I think about it, and I get back to productivity, because this isn't just a rah-rah talk, okay? When you get back to productivity, the reason most people fail is because of that emotion, fear. They're fearful, and when they fear, they don't operate correctly. And that's what Bob did. And to me, it's a very simple world, and it's something, as our society becomes more secular, as business becomes more detached from what its purpose is, this becomes a problem. And I think the only way you combat fear is there's another emotion, and that's called love. And 1 John 4 says there is no fear in love, and total love drives out fear. And that's what Bob did. And the sum total of it, if you had to look at his difference, he loved the people who worked for him, he had their back, and he made that happen for him. And so that's why, having not experienced it, most of you in the audience, some of us have experienced it, pieces of it. Buy the book. Thanks.